What's happening, everybody? It is Tuesday, straight from the streets day. I hope y'all ready for another great show. Can you dig it? We talking about economic, social advancement, injustice, things that need to change. Part 2. The show was so great last week. We started to hit you guys with a round 2. Can you dig it? Mr. Brandon Whitting, Mr. Vincent Booker. Thank y'all, brother, for y'all time, and your passion and your energy for these great shows. Hashtag them down for what? Can you dig it? Man, it's going down this weekend. Brothers. Right. How you doing, Mr. Booker and Mr. Whiting?
Great, man. Great. Looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice, right? It's going to be nice.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to it, too, man. Dim down for what, man? And imparting some wisdom and knowledge and some understanding in the minds, man, these young minds. We talk about this stuff all the time, man. And now we have a platform and some people that's passionate about the message also. Oh, man, teamwork will make the dream work. I can dig it.
That's right. So, shout out to everybody who's going to be part of it too. This is a movement. Everybody's talking about her vision. This is a movement. Shout out to Tasha Dearborn again. Putting this thing together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, my brothers, how'd you guys like the feedback, man, that people gave you from the show last week, man? How you guys like that feedback?
I mean, it's a beautiful thing, man. That's what I mean. This is what happens, man, when like minds collaborate. You know what I mean? We just trying to push it and share this knowledge.
Right?
We trying to harbor. We trying to get everybody. If they want it, we got the information. We gonna give it to them. It's not ours to keep.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Vincent always say, we say this, and this is not to boast or brag, because all praises due to the Creator. You know what I mean? We only bless with what we have, but. We're 20 years deep in this, bro. Like we didn't take breaks when we was in there studying. So, you know what I mean? We came in contact with a lot of great minds and great spirits. So this is a lifestyle for us. We talk like this normal. This normal talk. What we do on the radio, it's everyday talk for us. So it's not like when the lights and cameras off, we just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that. Yeah, we really. And embrace this, and we really, love this. This is our life.
So you bout it. Master P used to say, "Yeah, bout it."
That's right, man.
That's the thing.
We don't know no other way.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's good though, man, because you plugged into it, and you there's nothing going to change that. No circumstance, no person, no whatever, man, because you're plugged into it and you understand what it is. Because, again, you got 20 years of being rooted and grounded in something. Hey, it's going to stand the test of time in your mind anyway, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, just anything else is this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The stronger the opposition, the harder you got to push. So, like Brandon was saying, like, during our time of being incarcerated, man, and when we were studying, we used to deal in hand in hand with those that was oppressing us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were dealing with them like every day, every second. So that determination to keep moving forward and to keep pushing and to learn as much as we could. That's why the trial was like that. You know what I mean? Because you're dealing with it directly in your face every day. Like, there's no excuses for it. You know what I mean? Like, well, in society, in society, you get a chance. They can filter it, and you don't really see where it's coming from. But when you're in those type of institutions, man, where it's a controlled movement, you're dealing with it day in and day out. So the determination and the drive to learn and change it's extreme. It's very extreme.
And just like that brother Vincent said, think about this, Shelton.
Yeah.
We come from the plantation where fear was put in us, and I know you're going to touch on the Jim Crow and all that, but as I was talking about, other week with Elijah Muhammad, they weren't fearing them. And they were some of the only people who wasn't, not just them, but the organization who didn't fear them, because a lot of black people was fearing them. But, when we was in prison, we started getting hold of that knowledge. Already from the streets, I wasn't scared of things, but it was misplaced aggression toward my own people and all that. It's caused a lack of knowledge. But once I got the knowledge, we didn't fear the system. So how you gonna fight a man who don't fear you? Like we didn't fear them. Like we don't fear the system. Like we didn't fear speaking out against it. Now when we was younger, we was kind of, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have the wisdom that we had with it now. You know, but cause we was live, bro. We was live. You heard us back in, bro. You know, we was man, with various like against the system all the way. But no, we're not like that now. But like I'm saying, they was pulling us out ourselves, brother, shaking us down, and just because we said we believe in a different religion, you know, Islam, and we was reading all these black. So well, we weren't scared of that. We was locked up. What could they do to us? What could you do to us besides kill us, lock us up? We already locked up. So we come from a different fabric, bro. Like we don't fear this stuff. So that's why we get on social media, as that sister was saying last night. Tasha, like, she get on that network. Bro, like that fear was poured out of us a long time ago. We don't get on there and be scared of what people gonna say. So, you know, we like this, bro. This our lifestyle. We bond together. And then how you gonna fight an army? We unified. Right? You mess with Vincent, and I'm not talking about just no physical stuff. I'm saying even his character, like we was talking about the other week. So once I learned our history, bro, it was a wrap. You know what I mean? You can't tell me like I'm nothing, I'm beneath you, you know, I'm subpar because of skin color. Bro, all that was out the window. Yeah. But then again, I don't feel like I'm superior than you neither. Exactly. But that level the playing field. I know I come from kings and queens too. Right. Everybody right, but I know there's some of our lineage. Right. Most definitely. So we're not fearing these things. We're not fearing. We ain't trying to get respect. We get respect from goons and all that. They still salute us behind the scenes. Right. But that ain't what we go out to get. We just try to speak the truth and live it. Hey, it take care of itself.
Speak truth to power. Yeah, you speak truth to power. Yeah, truth to power in it too. Yeah, speak truth to power. I mean, that's the bottom line, though, man. Speak the truth to power, man. Speaking of that, you're talking about some of the negativity and some of the things, you know, that we dealt with in history, whatever. We're going to kind of get into that tonight, man. We're talking about, you know, in our the realm of speaking about social and economic change that's needed. You know, we're going to talk about how some of those Jim Crow laws, you know, are they still in effect today? Are some of the effects of those laws, right? How it still affects us now in 2018, and then go into some of what those were, and kind of like the magnitude, man, of the hate and the dissension that was going on amongst those times, right? As far as from people that hated you just simply because of the color of your skin and nothing to do with who you were as an individual. Nor did they care. So we're going to talk about those things, man. And then, and as always, man, come with some solutions, right? And come with some things that we can do as a community, the ones that are willing to join, because as we spoke earlier this week, you can't get everybody. Unfortunately, you can't get everybody. And I had to resign to that fact, but it's really hard because, you know, you want everybody to get it, right? And sometimes it's hard to really accept that you won't get everybody. You know, it's almost like negligent homicide. You know, and so I feel really strongly about, you know, everyone getting it, which I have to deal with the reality that they won't. But anyway, you know, it's just, that's what this thing's about, though, man. So we're gonna get into some of that, though, man. But I think we missed the part, man. Let the people know what you guys do, who you are, how to get a hold of you, and then we'll get into some of these Jim Crow laws and things of that nature, and how some of the effects they are right now, still in 2018.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Vincent Booker. I'm a friend of Brandon Whitting on Facebook. I'm also a friend of Shelton on Facebook. My email address is akill8260@gmail.com. Again, it's akill8260@gmail.com. I'm off in the motivational speaking. I'm off in the music. I'm off in anything that's gonna benefit our struggle, man. Because we've been through a lot. And you know, some of it is unimaginable. Some of the things that we've been through. So I want to be a part of anything that's going to keep move that needle. We have to move that needle. And like we was talking about earlier, I speak in the tone that I speak in because had individuals that came before me, if they wouldn't have been like that, I wouldn't have never got it. So that's right. I have to move that same way for those that come behind us. have to be that same way for those that come behind us, because if they wasn't vocal before me, I wouldn't have got the message. So I have to be vocal in my message to make sure the children get the same, get the opportunities that I had.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, something I think a disclaimer is what I want to have with the show, man, and tell the listening audience. Sometimes we may have our opinions about what happened with different movements and things of the past and the stuff like that. But because we weren't there physically, we can't really feel some of the pain or some of the anguish, I guess, or some of the real, truths that was going on behind that. So we speak from a perspective of what we feel and our opinion. If you think, based upon our paradigm and what we've gathered or surmised from reading these different things about history. So again, we're not trying to besmudge anyone or step on anyone's ancestors or their path of greatness. Again, as Mr. Vincent say, we all about trying to build upon it, right? And see what we can do to keep growing and keep going, because we want to grow through what we go through. Can you dig it? Okay, Mr. Brandon White, I'm going to tell the people about your business, Mr. Busy Bee, and all that good stuff, man. And then we'll get into this thing, man.
Yes, sir, man. Salute. Salute to you, brothers. And just like Vincent said, I bet our ancestors would be proud of us. You know what I mean? And we got to think about this. Just like we want to make our parents proud. So they are our parents. But, my name is Brandon Whiting. I got the bees moving. You can hit me up. No job is too big or too small. And Brandon Whiting 20@gmail.com. I'm friends with Shelton and Vincent. You can hit me up through Facebook. And I want to say this. I do motivational speaking. Of course, we got the book and we got the music coming. And I want to say this before we even start setting it off. And this is about that movie Black Panther. And I'm not going to get into this, but I want to make this statement because I just seen the movie. This is a powerful movie. It's more than a Marvel movie. You know what I mean? It's addressing a lot of things. And don't prejudge. It's called prejudice. Don't prejudge the movie before you even seen it. If you go and see this movie, you will understand why so many people are impacted by it. Now, what they do with it is another subject. That's a whole other subject. But this movie is powerful. The imagery, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everything is powerful in this movie. So all these naysayers and all these people talking, like you said, Children, with opinions, even your opinion should be based on something with substance. Mm-hmm. It's not just saying anything because it sounds good or it feels good. Let your opinion, that's what a theory is. It's an educated guess, bro. So, you know what I mean? So your opinion should have basis on it with some validity and reason. So I encourage, just see the movie and then make your opinion after that. Right. You know what I mean? So I just want to start off like that. Very powerful movie. And I encourage you brothers to see it so we can have a talk about this movie.
Right on. No doubt. No doubt.
Yes, sir.
It's all good, man. We're talking about the Jim Crow laws, right? We're talking about how incredible hate and racism was back in those days, right? But the thing about it, we talked about, I think offline, we talked about how incredible it was, but also it was, now it's inherent, right? It's inherent because some of those same people that were putting some of those same laws and regulations and hate-filled type things in place, they had children. And those children saw those things, and those children learned from those things, and it was taught by some of those same people, which some of those children are now managers, executives, lawyers, doctors, judges, police people, So we have to think about, of course, some of those same things still went into place. And we're talking about how divided we are right now. Are you really surprised, honestly? Because if we go take a walk through history, right? Take a walk down through Mr. Jim Crow land, Mr. Jim Crow laws, where if you had a stop sign and a white man roll up, you got to let him go regardless, right? Or you were walking down the sidewalk and a white man walked on the sidewalk, you got to walk across the street, right? Or, so where you went to jail for marrying outside your race and things like that, man. So you talking about all these laws in place, man. These things wasn't taking a test just to vote, right? You got to take a test or prove that you can vote. So if we don't, we talk about voting and politics and stuff like that, and you see why there's such a nonchalant approach as far as nowadays, now the African American youth, right? But at the same time, there had to be something to this politic thing because why you kept trying to keep us at the door? Why you keeping us out? Why you going through all these ways to keep us out? If there's nothing to this, right, and to this thing. So I think, man, as we educate more minds of the history of the atrocities that Mr. Vincent talk about a lot, the negative part of it, but also the power that we can gain from some of the lessons that we learn, right? I think as we do that though, man,